Hey kids, welcome back. If you ever broken a Sawzall blade, some of them get pretty expensive, and I found out a way to keep using them. It really doesn't cost anything, so let's check it out. Okay, well here you can see the primary tool that we're using here. It's just a bench grinder, nothing special about it. This is the coarser of the two wheels, and don't pay too much attention to my tool rest and gap here. I know they're wrong. This wheel's very old. I've had this since the 90s, and it's I've got it dressed up okay, but it's really too narrow to get the right gap with the tool rest and the angle. But that really doesn't matter for what we're going to do. So you guys know, be safe, do it the right way with your setup here on your machines. But I just want to show you what you got to do on your own grinder that I'm sure you'll set up properly. When one of these breaks, I'll tell you, for me at least, they break right here, right where they go into the blade holder in the reciprocating Sawzall, whatever brand you got. They snap off right there. I mean, I suppose I might have broken some in another spot, but that's where they always break for me. And it's like, great, man. You know, these teeth are still really sharp. I could still use it, but I got no way to hang on to it. And I can't believe it took me forever to figure out. I just regrind the shape into the blade. Obviously, you're getting into some of the teeth a little bit, so you're kind of reducing the overall length of the blade. But you can see right here, and this is an unpaid endorsement, a lot of cutting tools are kind of junky these days, but I'll tell you what, this stuff is pretty good. So I buy them, this Diablo brand. They seem to deliver on the promise, and this one's brand new, of course. But this is kind of a general purpose one, which is kind of what I use for the pattern. And this was the big dog here, which you can see I've just about worn it out. But I broke it. I broke it early on. And I was able to fix it because what I did is I took and I laid a blade that I knew that would fit over top of the broken part. Now remember, this went on further back, squared off. There were teeth going back this way. I pretty much laid it on top of it. I got me a Sharpie that I could see, whether it's black, blue, silver, whatever you want, just something that you can see, because what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to grind those shapes back into it. Now, try not to grind on the side of the wheel if you can, but you can get it right back in there. And the cool thing is, even though this has a pretty tight radius in these two spots, it doesn't really seem to matter. I've got, my wheels kind of rounded off here just from age, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll get in there with the smaller grinder and chase that out. But it didn't matter. It still fit. So I'd say unless your wheel's just really out of whack and you haven't dressed it in a while, it's going to be fine. And the teeth came right off. I thought, man, this stuff's so brittle, it's going to break. That's kind of my resistance to doing it. And I just finally said one day, it's already junk. Let's give it a shot. One thing I will say is, this is a blade, and, things tend to go the way you don't plan them to. So don't hold this with your hands. Hold it with something else. And that way, if it comes loose, it's not going to cut you, So just be safe, be smart about it. But the only other thing you got to do after you grind this, and you can check it to see if it'll fit in there or not, you need this hole where you actually tighten the blade holder down through there. You need this hole. And I thought initially, same deal, I marked it with my Sharpie. I thought initially that I might be able to punch it. I've got a Roper Whitney style punch, it looks like a paper hole punch. I thought it might be able to punch that through there. And I thought that'll make a nice clean hole and it'll go through there, because I didn't know how easy this would be to drill. And this is just a little too thick to go through there nicely, but I think this was an 1/8 inch or something. It don't matter. You just grab your drill index and find out one that goes through there, center punch it, and go right through it. I mean, it drilled really easy. I was shocked. Didn't have to really, do anything special to drill through it. So that was kind of odd. But man, I ground this thing down, I put it in, and I got a lot of life after this. If you go back and look at the Fiero series that we have, this was pretty instrumental in getting that control arm off of there, because the bolts that hold the car had actually corroded into the bushing, and there was no way to get that bolt out of there. You couldn't drive it out. You couldn't, pry it out or anything. So I had to cut right through it, and this thing saved the day. Good old Diablo fighting chicken right there. But you can use it for whatever. I mean, if it's a wood cutting blade or something like that, this is really 10 minutes of work to grind that profile and knock that hole in there, and it's worth it to me. Hopefully, it's worth it to you. But it's a backup. Even if you bought another one or something, just hang on to it, because you might run out and you'll be like, I need more. So it's just something I got into the habit of doing, and it's silly to kind of go through the demo of it. I think you can figure out how a grinder works, and what we're doing here. We're moving the area that's not inside the line. We're taking that away. Really easy. Give it a shot. See what you think. Like I say, let me know in the comments, and hopefully it helps you out. Hey, well, you might be saying, these things are cheap enough, I'll just buy another one. But what if it's late at night? Can't get out to the store till the next day? You can fix it right now if you got a grinder or a way to remove that material like I showed you. And two, your cost to travel is something. So why not do it and use it as a backup, even if you're going to buy some more. I definitely got a lot more miles out of the one that I broke, and they're not always that cheap. So I'll do it to the cheap ones too if I got time, but don't have to spend a lot of time to do it, which is the other cool thing about it. But hopefully that was a good tip for you. And let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Appreciate it. And that's the homework. Gotta get her done, right? And always dare to be different. We'll see you next time on Smith Motorworks. Thanks for watching.